Accessibility is a necessary part of today's gaming world in my opinion. I'd define it as making a game as accessible to as many people as possible, and so that means a range of options should be present, whether it be difficulty levels, colourblind options, use of multiple controllers, variety of other factors. Despite being a physical game, one of the biggest selling points that Nintendo were putting across for Fitness Boxing 2 was that you could turn off certain boxing moves in order to tailor the workouts for yourself. This tells me immediately that they've been listening to feedback from the original game, and they are looking to make this as accessible as possible to maximise the amount of people who can play the game. So I wanted to explore some factors that I found can be used to tailor your workout to make them better for you if you find certain movements tough due to mobility concerns, injuries, whatever. Obviously if you're under serious injury you should be resting rather than playing Fitness Boxing 2, but if you're going to play anyway or it's not a serious injury, then here are some things that you can adjust to help. Now first up, I'll just quickly say it's pretty simple to navigate the menus and such. There's clear large text on decent backgrounds and clear highlighting of where you are in the menu, which is really good. There is audio indication that plays when you are going through the menus as well, so it gives a good clue for where you are. This in itself seems basic, but it does go miles for those who need it. Now, onto the game specific stuff. First up, the ability to turn off certain moves for your daily workout. So the daily workout is a tailored session based on your goals, your weak points, whatever the game uses to calculate it. You don't get a choice in what this workout involves. However, in the settings menu, you can actually alter what can come up in the daily workout. You can't remove the basics like your jabs, uppercuts and straights, but for things like ducking, weaving, steps and swaybacks, like the more leg and hip orientated movements, you can remove them. For those struggling with mobility issues or injuries to do with the legs, this will allow them to play the sessions without having to deal with those movements, which is great. Obviously, minimising the use of parts with bad mobility can help recover in some cases, so it's definitely worth considering. So this ability to turn certain moves off for the daily workout is fantastic. Now secondly, there is the auto scoring, which is very similar in fashion to removing the moves in the daily workout. You can select to auto score certain types of movement. Now in effect, this is the same thing as removing them, because Fitness Boxing 2 will automatically award a perfect score for when that move passes, whether or not it is performed. This is great for accessibility as it removes pressure to perform these certain moves if performing them isn't possible or would be detrimental to your health due to, injury or something. This is a fantastic option to make more workouts more accessible for more people. Great pair of options there. Now thirdly, there is intensity and speed. When selecting a workout at the top, you have a variety of customization options to make the workout your own, and intensity is one of the big ones there. The intensity goes low and high with significant changes to the time period. It essentially puts in 2 sets instead of 1 in most cases. The combos will be more difficult with additional jabs and straights thrown in for good measure as well, but that doesn't mean that low intensity is a bad workout. You'll still be able to get your sweat on with what it offers, so it just makes it easier for access. You can also speed up the songs when choosing the song you want to work out to, and the tempo increase changes the rate at which you will need to throw the moves and such. Now it's always set to standard at the start, but I would still classify this as an accessibility option because it's actually giving access to higher difficulties as well. An adjustable scale is good in my opinion. Sometimes we need a chiller workout and sometimes we fancy a real challenge, so it's good to be able to do that. Fourthly, I found the timing adjustments. So this one's kind of interesting, and it's more of a setting, but you kind of see what I mean as far as accessibility goes. You can adjust the timing sliders on the game to account for graphical lag, sound lag and stuff. So when you throw a punch to the rhythm, if it won't score or hits okay all the time, you could adjust it as there may be some kind of input lag, okay? Now this has its uses if you need additional time to throw a punch or you need to register it quicker so you won't use your full range of motion. You can adjust this to where it's comfortable for yourself to hit the target, which makes the workout even more tailored to what you can do. I'd classify that function of the timing adjustment as an accessibility option, even though its primary objective seems to be to help tailor around input lag and such. Now you've also got sound options. The game has toggleable sound options, which is pretty good. You can turn up the music, the effects, the PT voices, or you can remove them entirely. Now I'd call this an accessibility option if you struggle with certain moves, because altering the sounds or the PT's voices, 1, may allow you to get your rhythm and timing better, but 2, because the majority of the form cues in the game are voice-based with text subtitling, having the voice higher might actually remind you to keep your form better. It's also worth noting that this isn't only selectable from the settings menu. From the main menu, you can pause mid-workout and change the settings there as well for the sound, which is really good. So those are a few accessibility options I found which I think are really good. It's giving options to help people get into their boxing workouts even if they have obstacles that others do not, and allows more people to play the game in their own way. Now I'd be remiss if I didn't mention a couple of things that I feel they could have done better. First off, the queuing in the game, it's very vocal, it's fine, it's quite descriptive, however the PT models don't particularly show the form too well. It's all done quite quickly, it's not slowed down in any way or broken down like other fitness games have done in the past. If you rely on sight over sound, you may struggle to pick up the finer nuances of how to perform the move, and frankly for someone like myself who learns through watching and then performing rather than listening, it can be difficult to understand exactly how certain forms are meant to be. Secondly, during the later parts of workouts, you will get a zone bonus if you performed enough perfect moves, and it gets a bit flashy and a bit colourful. If there were an option to slightly tone that down, like a little slider, that would be really good, as it is fairly distracting. Obviously it's meant to pump you up, which is well what it does, but it is really bright. Third, with regards to visual impairment and colour blindness, the symbols that show up on the screen for each punch are colour coded for types of punch. Straights and jabs are red, hooks are orange, dodge moves are blue, etc. Now the symbols look quite alike in a lot of cases, the worst offender being the jab, body jab, step in jab. They look very similar with just small arrows dictating what type of move to perform. If you do have visual impairment or are colourblind, this could affect your ability to perform the correct punch, as much as the trainers say the moves they use, they don't always do it on the exact timing. There aren't really options to assist with colour blindness or visual impairment like this, such as text popping up for the next move incoming, or making the symbol stand out with different colours or bolder symbols. It's an area I feel they really could have improved upon there. Now, I've covered the accessibility parts that I found here. It gives options to help you if you're under challenge in some way mobility wise, which I feel is important to note with a physical game like this, as it does have the intention of getting you moving in the best way possible. Now, I'm not someone who tends to need these accessibility options. I do hope I've done a respectful job in pointing parts out. If you feel there is something I haven't covered or that I could have covered in a better, more inclusive way, please let me know. If you have enjoyed this content, please leave a like on the video and subscribe for more Fitness Boxing 2 stuff on the way. Thanks for watching, I'll see you soon.